Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to fill out and how to file a local earned income tax return in the state of Pennsylvania, and this is specifically if you have business income. I realized in my first video that I created going over this PA local tax return that I didn't go over people who might have had business income. So with that in mind, I wanted to go over a video that does have business income in their return. So kind of same scenarios as I had before, although I'm going to be skipping some of the not the details, but some of the extra things that I did in the first video. So if you have any questions on how I got to this point, you can always go back to that video to see what you might be missing out on. So I'll link that either above or in the description down below. So let me share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing. So this is what a PA local tax return looks like. I already filled out the information. His first there, the husband's name and the spouse's name. I also filled out the resident PSD code, which I showed you in the other video on how to find that information. I put in their fake social security numbers, and then they are filing married, filing joint, so I selected that as well. So pretty much up to this point, I think most people know how to do this part. This is pretty much just information part when it comes to this stuff. So really the question is when it gets to the income part, what are we supposed to do? So for both the husband and the wife, one of them owns a business and the others are a W-2 earner, and I have their wages and their information right here. Whoops. Let me just, there we go. So this is on the right here. We can see that the spouse is a W-2 earner, so we have her wages, and then we have the Pennsylvania Schedule C. So this is what we will be using to enter in our information into the Pennsylvania local earned income tax return. So I didn't fill out all this information here or on the W-2 just the information that was actually necessary to do this video. So just keep that in mind as well. This isn't a completed Schedule C by any means. So in this case, the Schedule C is owned by the husband, John Doe, and for this information, as you can see, line 1 is for W-2 income. Line 2 is for unreimbursed employee business expenses. That doesn't apply in this case. And then there's other taxable earned income, but obviously this isn't, I don't personally think this applies. So as you can see right here, under line 4, well, actually on line 5, you can see they have net profit and closed PA schedules. And then they have, if you're a non-taxable S Corp earnings, check this box. And then if you had a loss in your business, then you can check it right here and enter your loss information right there. So in this case, as we can see, this is his gross receipts is the 100,000. We have the cost of goods sold for 50,000, which brings his total income down to 50,000. And then we have his other deductions such as advertising expenses, car and truck stuff, supplies, which brings his total net profit to $10,000. So therefore, in line 5, we would be entering $10,000. And what you're going to do is when you go to file this return, you're going to attach or enclose, as it says right here, this PA Schedule C, as well as any other information that would apply to this return. So pretty much any sort of the state information that you get regarding your business, you would attach that into your Pennsylvania local earned income tax return as well when you go to file that. So then you would come down here to total taxable net profit, subtract line 6 from line 5, and we would take the 10,000 there, go through and just enter in the 10,000 throughout the rest of it. And then we can, as we can see right here, the total tax liability, which is line 8 multiplied by this percentage. So this percentage came from that resident PSD code because that's what the local earned income tax is in this PSD, it's 1%. So in this case, it's 100 is the liability. And he did not have anything withheld. He didn't make any sort of quarterly estimated payments, not on my record. So therefore his total payments and credits is 0. And then, well, actually, excuse me, sorry. Then we have to go down here and we can enter in the total payment due for him, which is 100. So then we're going to go over to the wife. I'm just going to move that over there and then just switch over to this W2 right here. So as we can see, when you look at your W2 in the either in the paper copy or the electronic copy, this is pretty similar to what it looks like. This is well, it says 2025, but it's meant to be a 2024 copy because it's a 2024 return. So just disregard the year there. But the local wages tab is really what you're going to be looking for when filling out a Pennsylvania local earned income tax return. You're not going to use your federal wages. You're not going to use the state wages. You're going to use the local wages that they have listed there. And then if they withheld any sort of local income tax, then you would enter that in as well. And then sometimes they'll put the locality name, but most of the time I've never seen it. Usually it's not. It usually just says like local or something like that is usually what it says. So in this case, for when we look back at the PA local earned income tax return, what you're going to do is you're going to see gross compensation as reported on W-2s, and we're going to report those wages, that $50,000 right here. And then there's no other sort of taxable earned income that she had, so we're just going to, excuse me, I entered 0. Her total taxable earned income comes to $50,000. She didn't have a business, only the husband did. So in her case, the total taxable earned income and net profit from add lines 4 and 7 is $50,000. Her total tax liability comes to $500, and the total local earned income tax withheld is $500. So she had the exact amount withheld that she was supposed to. And as we can see right here, total payments and credits, add lines 10 through 12. So if she made quarterly payments, you would take that from here. And then if she had any sort of out-of-state credits, then you would enter that there. In this case, she does not, so it is just that $500 her total payment from what was withheld on her W-2. And she is not getting a refund, and she does not owe anything. So we can enter 0 there, and we can enter 0 here as well. So as we can see, he is going to owe $100 into his local earned income for his local earned income tax return, and she is not going to owe anything regarding her tax return here. So I'll just make this bigger so everyone can see it. So this is kind of what it obviously looks like in order to file. This is what your return should look like. I mean, if you have business income and just a W-2 wages. So you got to remember that earned income is different than passive income, or not, well, I say passive, but earned income is basically any sort of business income that you might have, or any sort of work that you might do for a company. So if you're, being a W-2 employee, then you're going to obviously, that's work that you earned, if that makes sense, compared to interest income is not earned income. Investment income isn't earned income as well. So none of that would be listed on this tax return. It's just going to be any sort of wages that you might have had and any sort of business income that you might have had. Those are mainly the two dominant incomes that you're going to see on this return. And it kind of actually shows you that. I mean, you have your business income right here with the net profit, net loss, and then you have your W-2 wages. Other than that, there's not too much else to enter in here onto this return. So if you have any questions or anything like that on this video and how I did this, just feel free to put them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any of them. And, yeah, I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.